In today's class, you'll be able to understand different parts of a circle and use them for computing the circumference and area of a circle. Okay, so let's do a small activity kind of thing. Of course, here in the virtual scenario, it is really hard. So just I'll explain what this is exactly about. Okay, so let's say that you are taking two pencils. You are taking two pencils, and this is my first pencil, and this is my second pencil. Okay, these two are tied with the help of a thread. The length of the thread is, let's say that it is 3 inches. Okay, hold pencil one firmly and try to move the second pencil. I'm sure that you might have been tried this earlier, these kind of things, and you'll end up with a circle. So let me say that this point A is 3 inches from point O, and if I'm trying to move and if I measure what is the length of OB, means this is also 3 inches, this is also 3 inches. So every point on the every point on the circle is equal distance. You see that it is 3 inches, 3 inches, and 3 inches. This is a three-dimensional figure. So let me take a two-dimensional figure. That means I'm going to draw a circle. Instead of circle, let me take, let's say that a point is marked, and say that I'm taking two pencils and I marked one point here and say that this is 3 inches away. This is 3 inches away. Okay, another point, another point. So if I keep drawing these points, then you'll end up with this kind of picture. Oh, I'm sorry that the circle is not really of good shape. Please excuse me for that. So here you see that all these points are making a circle, right? Therefore, what is a circle means we say that the definition of a circle is it is a set of points which are equal distance, set of points which are equidistant, from a fixed point. Okay, from a fixed point. Well, all of you know that here this fixed point, I call this one as center of the circle. This is the center of the circle, right? Okay, now let's take some vocabulary words of this circle. Just now we discussed and learned that this point is the center of the circle. This point is the center of the circle. And what is radius means you mark a point on the circle anywhere you can mark a point on the circle, and from the center of the circle to a point on the circle is this distance is known as the radius. Of course, the same definition is mentioned here, that the radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. I repeat, the radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. In such case, you may get a doubt. How about OA? Is it the radius? I would say yes. How about OB? Is it the radius? Means yes. For example, OP is 7 inches. So what is the length of OA means that is 7 inches, and what is the length of OB means that is also 7 inches. Therefore, OB is radius and OA is also radius. But if you take them together, that is OA and OB together, that makes 14. That is not the radius, that is the diameter. So what is diameter means? The diameter is the distance across the circle through the center. But I personally prefer to define slightly in it's not different way, but this also may be taken. Let's say that a circle is given. A circle is given. Then I say that a line segment whose both the endpoints are in the circle. Is it correct or not? I'm taking a line segment. I'm taking a line segment whose endpoints are on the. Please see that whose endpoints are on the circle means here. Can I call AB as diameter? Means obviously no. This is not the diameter. So while defining the diameter, you should be a little bit specific that a line segment whose endpoints are on the circle and also passes through the center of the circle, then we call this one as diameter. So again I'm repeating that a line segment whose endpoints are on the circle and passing through the center is known as diameter. In such case, what is AB? This is called as chord. A line segment whose endpoints are in the circle is known as chord. It is known as chord. Okay? But if it is passing through the center, then that is called as diameter. In fact, the longest chord of a circle is the diameter. So we learned here what a radius is, what a diameter is. Okay, so let's kickstart with simple questions that the diameter of a circle is 20 feet. Let me remember what a diameter is. A diameter is a line segment whose both the endpoints are in circle and it passes through the center. Okay, so it's given that diameter equals to 20 feet, and the question is what is the radius? Sounds a little bit silly. What could be the radius? Think for a moment. What could be the radius? What could be the radius? Exactly, it is 10 feet. So how did you get means? We know that radius equals to, that is half of the diameter. This is half of the diameter, right? In fact, you need not do any calculations. It is very simple, very simple. You can do mental calculations. Half of 20, that gives you 10 feet. That's the correct answer, right? Next, coming to the next one, which is almost similar to the previous one, the radius. So what is radius? Let me think what is the definition of that. A line segment whose one endpoint is center and the other endpoint is on the circle, any point on the circle, or the distance from the center to any point on the circle is known as radius. So here it is given that radius is 7 meters, and the question is what is diameter? What is diameter? Think for a moment. What is the value of the diameter? Diameter. How to get the diameter? Think for a moment. Well, it is double the radius. Double the radius. Therefore, if I plug in the values, or just you can do the mental calculation that 2 times 7, that gives me 14 meters. That is 14 meters. Okay. Okay. Then the next one is what is circumference? Actually, if you are given a square, rectangle, triangle, you know how to find the perimeter. Perimeter means that is the total length of the boundary line. But you take triangle, square, rectangle, trapezoid, these all are made of straight lines. That's the reason we use the term perimeter. But here the circumference, circle, it doesn't have any straight lines. So instead of perimeter, we use the term circumference. Otherwise, it is the same as, the total length of the boundary line. That gives me the idea of circumference. Actually, there is a Greek mathematician, Archimedes, and he experimented and he found that, anyhow, already we defined what is the diameter. So let me draw the diameter for all these diagrams. So what the mathematician has done is, he took different circles and he measured what is the diameter of each circle. This is what he measured. And also he has taken a thin thread and he ran the thread around the circle. Of course, you know what is the circumference. Circumference means the total length of the boundary line. So he found circumference is equals to some value, and he found the diameter equals to some value. When he computed, he ended up approximately 3.14. He took another circle. Again, he computed by measuring the length with the help of a thread. So he ran a thread across, around the circle. Then he straightened that and he measured the length. By means he got what is the length of the circumference. Then he took a straight edge and he measured the diameter, and again here also he got 3.14. Likewise, he took several circles and almost every circle has given him either 3.14 or 3.14 or 22/7. So this particular number 22/7 or 3.14 is represented, the Greek letter, this is called as pi, pi. It is not apple pie or the pot pie, something like. No, it is pi, pi. Okay, so the value of pi represents 3.14. Now coming back to the lesson, here the length of the boundary line, the total length of the boundary line of a circle is known as circumference. It is known as circumference. Then how is it connected to this pi means? How is it connected to pi means? Let me clear some part of my screen. Okay, so just now I explained that circumference, the mathematician measured with the help of a thread, and then he divided by diameter not only one circle, several circles he experimented. Then he ended up with 3.14, or that is equals to 22/7, which is represented by pi. Right? Now the same thing I am taking, the same thing once again I am copying. Then what is the formula for finding the circumferences? Here diameter is dividing on the left hand side. Then you know how to eliminate and you can isolate a circumference. So we go for the inverse operation by the time, then diameter goes to other side and it multiplies. If you want, you can do it algebraically. You can give a try. And you'll realize that then we have to multiply diameter on both the sides. Okay, so circumference equals to pi times diameter. This is the formula, or this is the rule, or this is the condition to figure out the circumference of a circle. Diameter means it is nothing but we have another formula too, so let me explain that. So pi times diameter means diameter means it is twice the radius. It is twice the radius, right? Now, but in algebra, all of you are aware that all of you are aware that when we write something in algebra, do you write like x times 3? Do you write x times 3? I mean x3 or 3x. First we write the number and then we write what are the variable is there, right? So we bring the number to first, like x times 3, it is not x3, we write 3 times x, then 3x. So the number comes first, right? So for the same reason, pi times 2 times radius, I am bringing 2 to the front. Therefore, it is 2 times pi times radius. So this is my second formula to figure out. This is my second formula to figure out what is the circumference of a circle. So there are two formulae. One is pi times t and the other one is 2 times pi times radius. So let's go to the next page and we'll see how to solve a couple of questions. This is most frequently asked questions by students, that when to take pi equals to 3.14, when to take pi equals to 22/7. This is most frequently asked question. This I am going to explain after the completion of both the questions. Okay, so anyhow, in the given question, it is clearly mentioned that in the first one, take pi equals to 3.14. You can see that take the value of pi equals to 3.14. In the second question, it is mentioned that take pi equals to 22/7. Anyhow, that I'll explain at the end of the second question. Well, let me copy the given information. First, I see that radius equals to 5 inches. Then circumference. Which one shall I take? Is it pi times diameter? I don't see diameter in this question, so let me take 2 times pi times radius. 2 times pi times radius. So pi value is already given, that 3.14, and the radius is 5 inches. So 2 times 3.14. Oh my gosh. Well, 2 times 5. 2 times 5, that gives me 10. 10 times 3.14. So the decimal jumps to one step to right side. This is pretty easy to compute. So instead of multiplying 2 times 3.14 times 5, 2 times 5 times 3.14, that's easy. So let me quickly jump to the next question. Here, please notice that the length of the diameter is given. Please notice that the length of the diameter is given. Majority of the students tend to make the mistake here only. So please notice that the length of diameter is given. It is not the radius. It is not the radius. Why I'm insisting these many times means because I know most of the students are in a hurry. They write that C equals to 2 times pi times radius. So 2 times pi is 3.14 and radius. Do you see that radius is not 28? But people tend to make this mistake again and again. I have seen over years the same mistake is done by majority of the students. So please avoid that. So first, do write the details, like diameter equals to 28 millimeters. Okay, this sum can be done in two different ways. This sum can be done in two different ways. Okay, one is circumference equals to pi times diameter. Pi times diameter. So pi is 3.14 and diameter is my bad. Here the value of pi, it's given in instructions that to take 22/7 and diameter is given as 28. You know, in butterfly method, you know that this is it seems like the wing of butterfly. So here the 28 divided by 7. 28 divided by 7. So 7 ones are 7, 7 twos 14, 7 threes, 7 fours. So now 22 times 4, 22 times 4, that gives me 88. It's a pretty easy calculations. So 88 millimeters. We are done. But again, C equals to circumference equals to pi times d. Circumference equals to pi times d. Some people may think that why should I memorize two different formulas? So let me make use of circumference equals to 2 times pi times radius. So this is also okay. You can take this one too. 2 times pi times radius. But notice that the diameter is given. As I told you before, some students, I know that some students, they made mistakes while computing. They have taken radius as 28, which is not correct. Okay, so first you copy the data, and you know how to compute radius, which is diameter, half of diameter. Therefore the half of 28, that gives me 14. Well, now plug in these values here, so 2 times, it's clearly mentioned to take 22/7 as the value of pi, times radius is 14. Okay, then let me use my butterfly method. So 14 divided by 7, 14 divided by 7, that gives me 2. So 7 ones, 7 twos. So 2 times 22, 44, 44 times 2, 88 millimeters. I got the same answer, whatever the method I adopt. So, but again, I'm repeating, please check whether the given value is it diameter or radius. Otherwise, there are high chance of ending up with wrong answer. Now the question is where to use pi value 3.14 and where to use 22/7 means. You have seen that in this particular examples, the second one, you see that 28 is divisible by 7 by butterfly method. Yes, go ahead and take pi value is 22/7. Suppose if I am taking in my first question 2 times, pi is 22/7 times radius, you see that 5 units. Now let me think this way. In butterfly method, can I divide 5 by 7? No. So if this value, I mean radius value is multiples of 7, that means if you can divide the radius by 7, then you take the value of pi as 22/7. Otherwise, what happens is, in case if I have to start working on this, then 2 times 22, 44, 44 times 5, it is 220, that is divided by 7. Oh my gosh, a lot of calculations, you know. But instead of that, you have seen that I computed very easily when I solved the question one. Okay, questions on this? Well, so let me go to the next one. Find the perimeter. Just now I told that the length of the boundary line is known as circumference, and from where this perimeter term came again? Oh, this is not a circle. This is half of a circle. This is a semicircle. And just now I mentioned that the square, rectangle, trapezoid, all those all are having straight line. That is the reason. We use the term perimeter. And in a semicircle, semicircle means half of a circle, right? So here I see that there is a straight line. That is the reason the term perimeter is used. So how to compute the perimeter means, semicircle means this is half of a circle, right? This is half of a circle. So if I'm being asked to find the perimeter means, if I compute perimeter equals to I know how to find the circumference. 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 Okay. And in case if I compute half of circumference, will it give me the perimeter of the semicircle or not? Mm, Let me think. If I compute half of circumference means then I will get the length of this curved line. I'll get the length of this curved line, but this is left over. This part is left over. But as per perimeter definition, I know that the total length of boundary line, but this is not covering the total length of boundary line. Therefore, I have to include this part also. I know that this is called as diameter. Diameter. Therefore, half of circumference plus diameter if I take, then only I can find the perimeter. So half of circumference formula is 2 times pi times radius half of 2 pi r plus diameter means it is twice the radius. Or straight away you can copy that diameter because in the given diagram it's given. So what is half of 2? Half of 2. Half of 2 means you know that it is 1. It's 1. So let me strike out. So pi times radius plus diameter, that gives me the perimeter of the semicircle. Pi value, which one shall I take? 22 over 7 or 3.14? What is the radius here? This is not the radius, it is diameter is given as 7 units. So radius will be half of the diameter, therefore 7 over 2. Therefore, I see that 7 is there, so let me take pi value is 22 over 7. So in such case, I can think of my butterfly method and I can go for cancellation. So let me take pi equals to 22 over 7 instead of 3.14. Plus, what is diameter? It is 7 centimeters. Okay, units I'll write at the end. Now let me go for the butterfly method. In butterfly method, 7 over 7. So I know that 7 times 1, that gives me 7. Therefore 1 is here, and the other side, the other portion, if I take 22 and 2, 22 and 2, so 22 divided by 2, that gives me 2 11s. Yes, it is. So 2 times 11. So 11 times 1, that is 11. Then denominators are already cancelled. So 11 plus 7, 11 plus 7, that gives me 18 centimeters. This is the perimeter of the given figure. Any questions on this? Okay, so going to the next one. Now this time you are asked to define the area of a circle, not the definition. So the area of the circle is the measure of the space or region enclosed inside the circle. So here, let me think of a circle. Okay, the area enclosed means which is inside the circle. So let me take this portion. So this is being asked. Okay. In fact, you learned how to find the area of circle, which formula, etc. I remember that this is area equals to pi times radius square. You know that When we talk about area, we measure the units we measure that in square units, like square centimeters, square meters, square inches, and so on. Right? So why I'm talking about the units means because I know students gets confused when they're asked to find excuse me, when they're asked to find area, they use 2 pi r. Not all, some students. And if they're asked to find circumference, they use pi r square. So there are chances of making mistake. So there is a high chance of getting confusion between 2 pi r and pi r square. Suppose if you are asked to find area, then you are not sure whether it is 2 pi r or pi r square, right? In such case, I'll give you a small tip. Area is always measured in square units, right? And in 2 pi r, do you have any square? No. In pi r square, do you have any square? Yes. Therefore, pi r square is going to be the area formula, and the other one, which is not the area formula, obviously that will be the circumference formula. Again, I'm repeating, while finding the area, at times we may get confused. Is it 2 pi r or pi r square? Means you think this way, area units are expressed in square units. Therefore, do I have square in 2 pi r or do I have square in pi r square? That's how you think, then you can memorize what is the correct formula. Okay. So let me take a couple of questions on this one, how to find the area of a circle. So let me draw two circles really quick. Okay. The circles, the topic circles is not difficult, but the only thing is at times some questions they seems to be tricky. Like I remember one of the questions was given that a triangle is given and is it scale in isosceles or equilateral triangle. But when I look at the diagram, it seems to be scale in. When I answered, but I noticed that the answer is isosceles triangle. When I computed using the distance formula, I realized that two sides are equal. So at times the diagram may not be to scale. In such case, you better not to guess. Let's say that here this is 7 units and this one is also let's say that mm, one moment. Yeah, as I told you that these diagrams are not to scale. My apologies. These diagrams are not to scale. So let me start with the second question first. So if you are asked to find the area, so area equals to here I see that radius radius equals to 7 units. Let me delete this one because it is disturbing. So okay, so I see that radius of this circle is 7 units. Therefore, what is the formula for computing the area? Means you know that it is pi times radius square. So pi, first of all, what is the radius here? 7. So pi value, what to take means, I prefer to take 22 over 7 because it's easy to compute in butterfly method, right? Therefore, here radius square, so 7 square. Another possible mistake is, please do not cancel out this way, that is not the correct thinking. So 22 over 7, times 7 square means, do remember, first you expand the parenthesis. Don't go for cancellation like this. 7 times 1, 7. No, 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 no. That's not the right one. Now you follow butterfly method. 7 times 1, that is 7. So 7 times 22, that gives me 154 square units. My bad, I forgot to mention it is centimeters, blah, 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 whatever it may be. Next, coming to the first question, we know that the area formula is pi r square. Majority of the students, I know that first they copy the formula, then they write that, okay, area equals to pi times radius square, okay. Then the next one is, in a hurry, they write that 22 over 7, then it is 7 square, and then 22 over 7 times 7 times. Actually, this is not right because please notice that the given value is here, diameter is 7. That is the reason, always, if you write whatever the data is given clearly in the beginning of the question, let it be radius or diameter, then it reminds you that okay, diameter is 7. So is it the formula? So am I plugging in the correct values? No. You can see that the diameter is 7 and the formula says that pi times radius square. Then I have to compute what is the radius. Therefore, it is not 7 units. I know radius equals to half of the diameter, therefore half of 7 or 7 over 2. Then we change. This way. Right? So please, again I am repeating, you look at the question carefully, whether the given information that contains radius or diameter. If it is radius, no issues. If it is diameter, then you better compute the radius, then plug in. Okay, here onwards, it's not so difficult. Let me think of the butterfly method. In that method, 7 over 7, they gets cancelled. That means I'll get 1. And here 22 over 2. 22 over 2 means 2 11s. Am I right? Yes, 2 11s. So 2 times 1, then 2 times 11. And here's this one gets cancelled. So 11 ones 11, 11 times 7, 77 over 2 to this. Then 38.5 square units. So you have to be careful. Once again, I'm repeating, whether the given question contains the diameter or radius. First, you have to check twice before you are diving into start working on your question. Okay, questions on this. Well, so going to the next one, I'll take just maybe, okay, a quick comparison of one question, then I'll go to the summary part. Let's say that here is one circle and here is one circle. And here is the center of the circle. And let me cut the lower part to make this as a semicircle, and this is also semicircle, the same diagram. Okay. Then why I'm copying both, two different means, the reason is, let me put some number, say that this is maybe 14 is the radius, and here also 14 is the radius. And you are asked to find the perimeter in the first case, and the second one is you are asked to find the area. Okay, so what is the difference means? When it comes to finding the area, I'm doing the second part. This is pretty easy because area of a circle is pi times radius square. Pi times radius square. So you know what is a semicircle? Semicircle means that is half of a circle, right? This is half of a circle, right? So this is half of circle means you take half of pi as, that means half of the area, half the area. Now just plug in these values. Half of pi means it is 22 over 7. Then radius is 14 units square, and already we discussed. Please do expand the parenthesis part. Therefore it is 22 over 7 times 14, then times 14. Then you know how to follow the butterfly method, so I'm not going to explain how to do that. So 14 divided by 7, you get 2. Then 22 times, even here also you can take 22 over 2. So 2 11s. You know how to compute. So just I'm not giving any importance how to compute this one, right? But when it comes to the perimeter, I know that this is a semicircle, this is a semicircle, therefore I know that this is half of a circle. This is half of a circle, right? Then, in such case, may I take that perimeter which is similar to the circumference. Therefore, perimeter equals to, is it half of, what is the formula for finding the circumference? So it is 2 times pi times radius, 2 times pi times radius. Then half of 2 pi r, is it correct? Means absolutely it is not correct, it is wrong. It is wrong because see, area means you take a pizza and you cut it into two parts, then half of that one, that gives you the area. But when it comes to perimeter by definition it says that the total length of the boundary line, if I take half of 2 pi r, that gives me only the total length of, length of the curved part. But I am missing this part. I'm missing the straight line part. Therefore, that is also to be included. If you don't include, you'll end up with a wrong answer. Anyhow, at this point, you know how to uh, plug in these numbers so that I'm not spending much time on that. So let's go to the last part of the lesson, which is the summary part. In today's class, whatever you have learned, let's really quickly summarize. First one is definition of a circle. It is the set of points. A circle is a set of points which are equidistant from a fixed point, which is known as center of the circle. And next, radius. What is radius means? That is the length of line segment from the center to any point on the circle. Next, what is diameter? Diameter is a line segment whose both the endpoints are on circle and also that passes through center of the circle. So in this diagram, AB is the diameter and OK is the radius. Next, we may define that what is, another definition of diameter is the length of line segment whose endpoints are on the circle. So, in such case, can I take this line segment as diameter? Means the answer is no, because this is not passing through the center. This is known as a chord. So, a line segment that passes through a line segment whose endpoints are on the circle and passing through the center is known as diameter. And also you learned circumference is the total length of the boundary line of a circle. That is the circumference. And the rule is it is 2 times pi times r. But if you are taking a semicircle, we don't call it as circumference, we call it as perimeter because it contains a straight line. So, semicircle, if you are taking a semicircle, you know, can I take semicircle means half of circle, therefore can I take half of 2 pi r means that is not correct because it has a straight line too, which is the diameter. So half of 2 pi r plus diameter, that gives you the perimeter. And next, area of a circle, that is pi times r square, and area of a semicircle, area of a semicircle, that is half of pi r square. So here it works. When you are computing area of a semicircle, then that is half of pi r square. But when it comes to perimeter of a semicircle, you have to include the diameter also, because by definition, perimeter means the total length of the boundary line. Therefore, you have to include the diameter of this one too. Okay. Then that's it.